You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. How we doing? How we doing? I want to talk about Sheryl Swoops, Angel Reese. And, my question tonight is, Sheryl Swoops damaging the career of Angel Reese? Is Sheryl Swoops damaging the career of Angel Reese? And when you look at it, and I want to go inside a little bit because Cheryl Reese has a valued, strong opinion regarding who Angel Reese is, what she can do, and how she can do it. And, it's one that you have to accept.
A problem in this league. Like, Angel just competes. She plays hard, and the best part of her game right now to me is her ability to just rebound the basketball with the.
So that's really where my question is going, and that was brought by Whistle Sports. Good video. The question that I have and is in front here is Sheryl Swoops actually destroying the career of Angel Reese? And, I want to circle back, Chicago fans, to you. You got a lot of love for the game. You got much respect. I enjoy Chicago. Enjoy the 50-yard line. Enjoy stepping first class down there in Chicago. Now, but here's the deal I want to take back home. Okay, because Sheryl Swoops has been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing on the rebounding. And when you get to that level, when does it start and when does it end? Because I personally think that's going to limit Angel Reese's potential growth, what her capabilities are, and what she can do. And when you have a person who continuously is always on the loop and looking and comparing and pushing the double-double. I mean, don't get me wrong, the double-double is outstanding, but there's more of a basketball player in Angel Reese. And I think it's kind of teetering on a little boiling point as she told the media, you know what, I don't want to talk about records anymore. I don't want to talk about double-doubles anymore. And, you got Sheryl Swoops to push this agenda. And, don't get me wrong, Sheryl Swoops is a black African-American female. I'm a black African-American male. And, you got Caitlin-Clark. You try to keep pace. But, when you look at it, and I only look at it from a basketball standpoint, what's really going on and how it's all coming together and what is Sheryl Swoops' actual message? And if you understand the message, then you can understand what Swoops is saying. But, let's go to the numbers and let the numbers speak for themselves, and then I'll get a better understanding. Okay, so when you go to WNBA and I'm looking at the stats and I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, who they got the players ranked? And you got Caitlin-Clark's ranked 10th right now. And Asia Wilson, Kalia Copper, Ogumbe, Collier, Lloyd, Inescu, Stewart, Plum, and Hamby, those are the players that got ranked in the advanced stats in the top 10. Okay, they're going to go ahead. Now, here's a concern that I have with Sheryl Swoops and, how you position this and how you have just attacked on the rebound. Now, when you get down to, you want to look at Angel Reese. Angel Reese is worth 25th, okay? She's 25th in the pack. And when you look at it from a standpoint of efficiencies, Angel Reese is really just pinpointed in one area. If you looked at her ability to take three-point shots, she's taken less, kind of 0.4 across the board. So she's not shooting the ball. And here's a concern that I have that really, really, really just gets me when Sheryl Swoops does this. Because, folks, what I'm saying is she's kind of shortcutting Angel Reese's career. Now, if you want to be correct about it and what is Angel Reese can do and what her capabilities can do and how can she improve, and I get it that you got Caitlin-Clark and Angel Reese came in the same year. Okay, so they came out together. They battled in college. They had a little disagreement. But when you look at from the standpoint of taking a look at Angel Reese and what she does on the court, I think that the focus in the Chicago Sky's focus is limiting Angel Reese's ability on the basketball court. And let's get into it because there's a couple things that you really have to know, okay? And you got Coach Witherspoon, and how is Coach Witherspoon looking at it, and how does Coach Witherspoon feel about it? Because they're going to the podium each and every time. Coach Witherspoon is, sometimes happy, sometimes not happy. It's an up and down team, which means you have peaks and valleys. They play good one night, they don't play good the next night. Now, when you add Angel Reese into that, okay, here's the difference, and you got Caitlinclark and you got Angel Reese, okay? When you get to Angel Reese, here's the difference of the game with Angel Reese. Angel Reese does not play with the ball in her hands, okay? And that is something that Angel Reese, I personally would like to see the Angel Reese be a stretch three, okay? Because I believe Angel Reese can shoot the basketball. I think she's just quick enough to guard the wings. I also believe she has the ability not only just to rebound, okay, and rebound, as Sheryl Swoops is talking about. I think Angel Reese has much more talent than that. And I think it's the talent as they're pinpointed, the talent as the former WNBA players are pinpointed. I think they're pinpointed in the wrong direction. And here's why. And, I had this conversation. I'll share this with you. That I had this conversation with Carl Foster. And at the time, Carl Foster was working within the Oakland Soldiers. And you had Drew Gordon, who's passed away. Condolences to the family. Just an outstanding individual. His father, Ed Gordon, and the father of Aaron Gordon. Okay, so the question that came about that me and Carl had was, Drew Gordon and Aaron Gordon were their forwards, where they couldn't play the wing. Okay, and Carl Foster at the time thought, no, they'd be better in the post. Here's the difference where Angel Reese has to go and Angel Reese can get here. Aaron Gordon is the glue, is the main sticking point and the main player on the Denver Nuggets, okay? What Aaron did is stretched himself out to the three-point line, put it in there where he can handle the basketball, okay? He can dribble entry, and he can also, okay, is one of the best defenders in the league. Now, if you move that same scenario to Angel Reese would be the top basketball player competing right there with Caitlinclark in the WNBA. Okay, and I don't believe this about the double doubles and how you're doing this and how you're going to look at it and how Sheryl Swoops looks at it, because that's a bad deal for Angel Reese, and there's nothing good that comes out of that for Angel Reese, because at the end of the day, you're boxing her in. And I don't necessarily buy boxing a player in. I just don't agree with it.
Is her ability to just rebound the basketball with the best of them. 2 words to describe Angel Reese: unapologetic, her. What's up, Whistle? It's your.
You see what I'm saying? That's called boxing a player in. You have just literally told everybody, her main ability is rebounding. Angel Reese has potential to be much more of a basketball player than that, okay? And when you get into scouting, you scout them out. The first thing in there is I walk in. The first question I have is, can the player play with the ball in their hands, okay? Can they play with the ball in their hands, okay? Now, if you compare the two and you look at Angel Reese and you look at Caitlinclark, well, Caitlinclark plays with the ball in her hands, okay? The Chicago Sky need to advance Angel Reese up to playing with the ball in her hands, okay? That's the number one separator that coaches look at and what the contribution could be. Now, when you look at it from another standpoint, you're gonna look at it. Next question, they're gonna go down. Can the player shoot the ball? Okay, well, Angel Reese can shoot the ball, but we're so focused on the rebounding and the double-double, and that's kind of how Sheryl Reese started this and kind of how it leaned itself out, that, you've got Angel Reese not even shooting threes, okay? And this, when you look at it side-by-side comparison, and I know the argument, the goalpost, here's the thing with Sheryl and most other people do. The goalpost is always moving, okay, in the argument. The goalpost is always moving in the debate, okay? so we can't do this. Okay, she did that, so we can't do this. Okay, what you're doing, and you're doing this comparison, which Angel Reese, my opinion, should be a stretch 3. Okay, she can run a point 3. Okay, she can handle the basketball, and it also is give her opportunity. She's got to work on the right side of the floor. But Angel Reese can become a complete basketball player. There's no doubt about it. And that's really what we should be focused on, because Angel Reese can do a whole lot more on that court than everybody has her focused on. Her shot is tremendous. Her shot has 17 to 22 feet range. She's just not engaged to take the shot. Now, what's the other argument? Okay, I want you to think about this. And what's the other argument that Sheryl Swoopes is buying? Here's where you're shortening out and you're just not making sense. But I really want everyone to just think on this one. The other argument that's come across is that Sheryl Swoopes believes, okay, that Caitlin has better players. Okay, that's what Sheryl Swoopes is saying. I want you to digest that. Sheryl Swoopes believes that Caitlin Clark has better players, okay? So what is she doing when she says that? She's immediately embarrassing the players that actually play for Chicago Sky and slapped them in the face and said, look, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. That's not true. That's not true, okay? So, but you got to accept it as it comes. Now, here's the deal. I'll shut that argument down right now. Because everybody I know, you're going to ask me this question, what's going on? I'm going to shut the argument down. I'm going to shut it down right now. Okay, you take Caitlin Clark and you put her on the Chicago Sky. Okay, you know what's going to happen? Camila Cardosa is going to get better. Okay, you know what's going to happen? Angel Reese is going to get better. Okay, why? Because the point guard's job, okay, is to get the players better. And that's what the Chicago Sky don't have. So you'll never, ever see the talent level that Angel Reese has, okay, or that Camila Cardosa has. Because one of the things I tell you, they shorten the court. Okay, so where normally you got players taking 2, 3, 4, 5 dribbles, Caitlin Clark's going to put them in a 2-dribble pound. Okay, so Caitlin plays with the ball in her hands, and if she played for the Chicago Sky, okay, the Chicago Sky win total, okay, would be probably a +10. They would win 10 more games, okay, because they have that type of talent. Now, if you don't have a point guard to make that happen, okay, and you put focus just on rebounds, that's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. And that's just a disservice, and that's what Sheryl Swoopes is saying, and that's what Sheryl Swoopes is doing, because Angel Reese can be a stretch 3. Angel Reese needs to play with the ball in her hands. Okay, there's no confusion here. Okay, that needs to happen so all of her talent can come out. And if you don't bring all of her talent out, then things get a little sticky, because now you're going to the stat sheet, and when you look at it, you're like, okay, this is not good. Okay, because now you're gonna look at things that you don't want to look at. This Angel Reese is doing on the court, and when you start doing that, now you got to ask yourself, and you got to be honest and say, well, you know, the numbers don't lie, okay? And when you look at the numbers don't lie, Angel Reese is shooting 20% from the 3-point line. Okay, 20% from the 3-point line. Okay, let's be upfront and honest about that, okay? So when you look at the number 3 she's taking, okay, she's down there. I mean, it's not even a half a 3 a game. I mean, she's not even taking the 3-pointer, okay? And you look at the reflection that comes out with the shooting ability, I mean, 73% from the line. So you got to look at that, and you got to ask yourself, okay, what are we really trying to say? Because if the focus is just getting a rebound and scoring, well, her scoring is not extremely high, okay? And when you look at the rebound total, I mean, that's a great job, but I got a player that can do more. And when you take to the assist number, this is the one that really got me, okay? This one really got me, and I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to line it up. We got an assist every game, okay? I'm going to bring this to you. You got 1.4 assists a game, less than 0.4 blocks a game, okay? So we got to look at that and say, well, you know what? that's only limiting and saying, okay, well, I'm going to go to what she does really good, and you box the player in, and that's a detriment, okay? And these aren't my style. This is coming just straight out of the WNBA and what the players are doing. And if you're not getting the assists, you're not getting the steals, and you're not getting the blocks, okay, that's a problem, because when you get to Caitlin, she's got one, you're looking at 8 assists a game, and you're going to look at 1.4 steals, and you're looking at almost a block a game, and you're already getting there looking at rebounds almost 6 a game. So, and I think that what is happening here, and I'm just bringing it to you, and I don't, you know what, the Chicago Sky fans, you know what, I love you. I understand you're not going to agree with every point I make. It's my opinion, okay, but if it turns the truth, I've given you the facts before it happened. And my deal is here, Angel Reese has much more talent, okay, than just rebounds, okay. That's just where she's been pigeonholed, and the success, and everybody's talking about rebounds. But nobody's talking about her three-point shot that she can shoot. Nobody's talking about her ball handling ability, and nobody's talking about her ability to guard a wing in the WNBA, which she can do. And if it were up to me, I'd have Angel Reese running at the point guard spot and keep working her in there so that she could become a 5-star player. You got a player, Angel Reese, that has the talent to become a 5-star player. Okay, there's no doubt about it, right? So when you got a 5-star player, folks, you know what you got to do? You got to keep working and training them, getting there, because this player can do more than anybody else, okay, on the court, okay? You got to look at it. Angel Reese is more athletic than Caitlinclark, okay? If you probably put them in the race, I bet they'd probably run Angel Reese maybe faster. However, Angel Reese does not play with the ball in her hands. That's the thing that's got to get across to the Chicago Sky, and they got to start doing that. They got to kind of let her start the offense. She's got to grow, okay? And everybody's talking about being a rookie. The rookie deal's kind of over for me, because now you've played all 12 teams. You probably played all 12 teams twice, okay? I mean, you may play them 3 or 4 times. The deal is you settle down into what you do, and you get better. Your game gets better. That's how Aaron Gordon got better, okay, because he was going to be a 4. He was a little undersized. So Angel Reese is a tweener, okay? Angel Reese is not a 4, or should even be in the 4 position. She is really can stretch on out to the 3 and dominate the game and post up players and take it over. Now, that has to come, okay, you know what? And that just, what they got going over there is what they're going to do. And Angel Reese can move into that. And if you start looking at Angel Reese as a 2-guard or a 3-guard who can actually post up, then you got a great player. You got a great player that can do some things that nobody else can do and do it well, okay? You will get in there with Sheryl Swoopes, and Sheryl Swoopes, however she puts it out, that's the way she puts it out. In her era, somebody getting 20 rebounds and Sheryl Swoopes played was unheard of. So she's talking from her era. But from today, I see Angel Reese as more of a wing player that can get in there, and Angel Reese needs to play with the ball in her hands. That's the number one thing that's got to happen. If that happens, then all of Angel Reese's numbers rise, okay? Angel Reese has to become a player that can take 10 3-pointers a game. There's no doubt about that, okay? She's got to release the basketball, take 10 3-pointers a game. Angel Reese is a player that can get you 5, 6, 7 assists a game, okay? The difference of it is, and you get to Coop's not demanding that out of Angel Reese, okay? Not demanding it. It needs to be upgraded because Angel Reese has more skills, okay? And I'd say the same thing about Carmela Cardosa has more skills, okay? But to get on the same level, and if you want to do the comparison, it's difficult to do because Caitlinclark plays with the ball in her hands, okay? Her usage level with the ball is so much higher. I get it with Angel Reese in the double-double. That's an accomplishment, great. But if the player's not shooting 3-point shots, okay, if the player's not giving 5+ assists a game, okay, you got to start wondering how are we going to develop the player? Okay, because the player has to continue the growth, and we don't want to stunt the growth, okay, when you get in there and she's giving her heart out, but no one else is explaining there's more to this game. And it's so much different if Angel Reese took on the point guard mentality. Okay, the point guard mentality. I mean, that's what moves Angel Reese to one of the top players in the league, if not MVP of the league. Okay, if you put Angel Reese in point guard mentality and let her operate and develop her to do that, you've got a player that is untouchable in the WNBA. And that's something that the Chicago Sky have to make that investment and have to look at it, because if you add another post player, you add somebody that's a true four, okay, then you got to push Angel Reese out, because every night in and night out, she's going against a post player that's bigger than her. Okay, so really, she should be able to have the spacing, be able to get the footwork, reverse pivot, become a face-up player, and really her jump shot and everything she does is on the money. That's my take, and I really want to say, in all honesty, I mean, I know there's just a tremendous amount of love, okay, but Cheryl Swoops is Cheryl Swoops, and you know what? When you get to this level and you get players who have played in this game, who have earned the right to speak their mind, they're speaking their mind. And you know what? I just think it's more damaging to Angel Reese than it is more positives, only because Cheryl Swoops has pigeonholed her in, has made her focus rebounds, go after rebounds, and that's your competitor, and she supported that. But that's also damaging to Caitlin coming in there, going against, trying to compare to Clark, okay, who has the ball in her hands. Angel Reese got to play with the ball in her hands. Okay, that's the way the game is played, and that's how you reach to the top. And every player that's at the top of the WNBA plays the ball in their hands, okay? So when you look at the stat sheet and you want to look at it and you say, okay, let's look at all these players, you got a player, you got Asia Wilson has tremendous usage. Copper, ball in her hands. Agumake can play with the ball. Collier, Lloyd, Ionescu, Stewart. All these players play with the ball in their hands. Plum, Hamby, and then you got Clark, you got Kelsey Mitchell. And you're right. With all the players that the Indiana Fever have, okay, there's no doubt about it. And you look at this, there's no doubt about it. They're better now than they have on, okay, the Chicago Sky. But again, as I go through this list, you just got to say it to yourself. Angel Wilson can play with the ball in her hands. Little Copper plays with the ball. Gumake plays with the ball in her hand. Collier, Lloyd, Ionescu, Stewart, Plum, Hen, Clark, Mitchell, Jackie Young. Okay, here's the point I'm trying to make. If you're going to play in the WNBA, okay, you got to play with the ball in your hands to be one of the top players in the league. And that's where Angel Reese has to advance to. Once she advances to that, you got an unstoppable player that nobody's ever seen that can take the league by storm, okay? There's no doubt about it, and I tell you the only difference is from the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever right now is they have Caitlin Clark, and Chicago Sky hasn't figured out who's the point guard going to be, but that point guard is supposed to come in there and increase and rise everybody's level. I think the Chicago Sky needs to think of Angel Reese playing the three, put another 4 in there, add more depth and length, and let's get to it, because Angel Reese could do it. But you got to put her in the game to do it. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. We're powered up by Fanatics. That's the question. Is Cheryl Swoops damaging Angel Reese's career? I believe so. Pigeonhole her just to rebound. Sure, you got Angel Reese can be much, much more of a basketball player than just a rebounder, and she's got to play with the ball in her hand. All things are possible to those who believe. We understand, and we're going to keep going higher and higher. We'll see you soon.